And here's a hot take for y'all. I like to give you one. Okay. I fear that in a few years, we're going to look back on carbon fiber the same way we look back on Ed Hardy jeans.
All right, what's good, y'all? It's Cam.
I'm Spade.
And we are back with another Two Brother Auto News episode.
This is 11?
Yeah, this is 11. This is 11. You know, we in the double digits now. We moving. We moving.
Cranking.
We moving. Spade.
Yes, sir.
Today, I have a theme for this first episode.
Okay.
I am going to be talking about Audi quite a bit today.
Okay.
Both of my topics today about the German powerhouse.
Okay.
This first one,
in Germany too.
This first one, though, it's not about them being a powerhouse. JD Power has put out their 2025 initial quality study. And this is just in America. This study shows problems per 100 vehicles in the first 90 days of ownership.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go through the full list, or most of the list right now. For sake of time, the average was 192. That's the average score.
Okay.
192. At the top of the list, no surprise, Lexus with the least amount of problems per 100 vehicles at 166.
Of course.
Nissan was second at 169, which is very interesting, but maybe we'll get into that later. Hyundai was third at 173. That rounds out the top three.
Wow.
If you were wondering, Porsche was at 188, so right above average.
We weren't, bro.
But just in case you were.
We were.
But Audi ranks dead last.
Wow.
With 269 problems per 100 vehicles. The only brand that had more, but they didn't include them in this test, was Rivian. And they were at 274.
Wow.
Can't remember why Rivian nor Tesla technically qualified for this. I can't remember what
this dang real car.
Yeah, what the specification was on that. But out of the cars they got a big enough sample size for, Audi was dead last in that. And people cited problems with their software. Okay. And with the touchscreen control issues. And if you've been around, not just Audi, but a lot of these brands have gone to less physical buttons and everything being in the everything being in the infotainment system. Yeah. So them being dead last, we've talked about them being on the market they supply list, having multiple models that are basically just sitting in dealerships, the A6, the A8. So to me, this makes sense. This makes sense. This is another reason why those cars are sitting.
It's scary if you're an Audi fan. If your name is being talked about very highly for having issues, I don't want to say like reliability issues, because these problems aren't like they're going to prevent you from getting in the car and making it to your destination. Yep. But how serious the problem is doesn't matter. If you're buying one of these cars, they're very expensive. If you're having any kind of issues whatsoever, that's not great. Then on the other side of that equation, you got cars not selling very well. It's like if you Audi, you gotta do something. You gotta figure this out. You gotta go in there and revive some things. It just don't look good for them, bro.
Yeah, and even like you said, even though the problems that people are citing aren't super serious, the optics of this all. It's like you said, your cars already aren't selling, and then this list comes out.
The ones that are selling are having problems.
Yeah, like you're dead last in this list. It just like the average consumer, they're not gonna deep dive into what kind of problems are Audi having. They're gonna see this chart and say Audi's dead last. And they got the most problems out of all these other manufacturers. I'm not gonna cop. So again, we kind of been kicking Audi head in these last few episodes.
Somebody need to.
Yeah, they gotta get right. Like I don't know what's going on over there in all departments. It sounds like the quality control department ain't getting it right. The marketing department ain't getting it right. Engineers ain't getting it right. It's just y'all got to get it together. But yes, babe, that's my first topic.
No, that's tough. I mean, like you said, they're expensive cars. If they aren't selling well, and the other end of the equation is you're having some issues with it. Another thing that's not even mentioned here is they're also pretty notorious for just being pretty expensive to maintain.
Yep, German luxury.
So I mean, that's just
a lot of those cars. You got to drop the engine to do anything. And it's just I feel on top of that, you telling me I try to go change my AC controls and the button don't work. You took the physical button away, the digital button that you'd have made me put in the screen. Now that don't work. It's just like, all right, I'm out.
Now a few episodes ago when we talked about Audi, it was some people, they were very
vocal.
The people who are buying the cars, who do like them,
they came and got at us.
They're very vocal. But listen, I want to urge you, don't bring it to me. Take it to Audi. They the ones that need to tighten up, not us. All we doing is reporting the news. We have a job to do.
Got a duty to report the news.
We got a duty, man.
Unbiased.
Since you're in Germany, I'm going to be in Germany as well. All right,
cool.
For my first topic for today's show, or maybe even my only, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. BMW is replacing carbon fiber.
Okay.
And they're going to replace carbon fiber with a plant-based material, specifically flax fiber composites, right?
Say that again?
Flax fiber composites. They're replacing carbon fiber, right? So look, this move aims to reduce carbon emissions and utilize more renewable materials. So I like that. I like that. Now, this material is reportedly as strong as carbon fiber. It's as lightweight as carbon fiber with the added benefit of it being lower production emissions. Now, BMW has been testing this material in motorsports since 2019, including Formula E and GT racing. Okay. So they've been working on it in the shadows, and now they feel like it's ready for mass production. The reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because I think, and I don't mean like your regular run-of-the-mill people that just go buy their car, get in their car, and go where they got to go. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like car enthusiasts. It's time for us to have a little sit down about carbon fiber. Like carbon fiber has, I really think, to me, and listen, you know I got carbon fiber on my car. I went and bought a carbon fiber spoiler for my car. I like carbon fiber.
Real carbon fiber, you know. You run your finger across it, and you feel the weave.
Yeah,
that's an inside joke.
But I fear, and here's a hot take for y'all. I like to give you one. Okay. I fear that in a few years, we're going to look back on carbon fiber the same way we look back on Ed Hardy jeans. Straight up.
I know Ed Hardy jeans a little bit before my era, so.
Well, just take my word on it, all right?
Ed Hardy jeans, that was the it thing at one point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I heard of it, but you know,
I people was dropping $200 or better for a pair of jeans that just was bedazzled, you know, and at the time it was hot. But then when you look back, even if you see pictures of yourself with all that bedazzled stuff on your pants, you're just like, man, what was I on?
I never realized I was associated with a specific type of jeans. I just thought people just started.
Ed Hardy did that. Shout out to you, Ed. I'm sorry you had to catch it straight. My point is, I feel like when carbon fiber hit the scene, it was a lightweight, very strong material that you would put in these high performance cars because
saving time on the track.
Saving time on the track is durable, it's lightweight, it's win-win. Somewhere in between then and now, it's also become like a flex to say I have carbon fiber. And I'm seeing people do things that just flat out, for my taste, and I want to make sure I say for my taste because y'all gonna come for me, it looks ridiculous.
Distasteful.
If you've got a car that's painted red, and your quarter panels are black carbon fiber. You didn't get them paint matched. You just got black carbon fiber quarter panels. Why are you doing that?
They're saving weight, bro.
That don't look good.
They're saving weight.
Yeah, paint it or wrap it.
So you're saying not getting the carbon fiber isn't the problem? It's just leaving it untouched.
I just think people like.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm
they
just
going
for the common people.
Yeah, man. It's like you got a red car, you got a black carbon fiber hood that you didn't get paint matched. The quarter panels are black carbon fiber, you ain't get that paint matched. And you didn't get it paint matched, not because you can't afford it, because you think it's a flex to show like, look, I've got carbon fiber. And if you do,
you know what? Cool. The exterior ones, I don't really hate.
Really? Even if it don't match the whole body of the car?
Nah, some color, like if it's red, a red car with black carbon fiber, cool. It's similar to red and black until you get up close. I don't hate it as long as, of course, if it's done tastefully. Depending on what part you got it on.
It's never done tasteful.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
Okay.
You got to show me. Sometimes it is. But what I don't get is carbon fiber interior modifications. That's the one that really don't make sense to me. You're going to change the trim piece on your center dash from plastic, metal, whatever wood, whatever it was before, to carbon fiber for what?
You save 8 ounces.
You save...
You 8 ounces lighter.
You save however much M&M weight.
Sure.
Essentially.
Sure.
Like, that's the one I don't get. Also, on this new, say it again. What's the name of this new material?
Flax fiber.
Flax fiber. Is it more expensive than carbon fiber?
Now that remains to be seen because it could be, but I mean, I feel like they got a good reason. They want to lower production emissions. Can we not rally behind that?
I feel like that's probably just like, that's they out.
You think it's cap?
I ain't gonna say it's cap, but that's their out to charge people more for it.
I think you're just very distrusting of people, and I want to trust BMW. I think they care about this planet.
I'm interested to see when they come with this option, if it's more or less than the carbon fiber alternative.
So. As am I. What I want to know is if you're watching this video, will you be replacing your carbon fiber rear quarter panels with flax fiber quarter panels? Or are you going to wait till it become the it thing? Let me know. Because if it's about lightweight, it's lightweight in.
Yeah.
It's strong, it's durable. But right now
You
it's
said
not quite
just as light as carbon fiber, not light.
just as light.
Just as light, just as strong.
Just
so
as
not
durable.
better, just more ethical is what we're hearing. That's the selling point.
for the floating planet.
No, I'm saying that's more ethical. That's the selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finna charge out the wazoo for this.
Hey man,
They finna pay.
I like it. BMW, I like it.
Okay. I don't get me wrong. I love protecting the earth, but
It don't sound like
they finna tax.
we can hear you.
All right, Spade. Again, we back with Audi, but this one a little bit better news.
Okay.
Much better news. Audi has bought their way into Formula One, and what I mean by that is, if you've been keeping up with this for a couple years, this is a couple years in the making. A few years ago, I want to say 2022 is when this first started. Audi bought some. They paid for some stake in the Sauber team, which is a current F1 team right now.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a partnership. Audi was getting back into doing engine manufacturing for Formula One, and as this has progressed over the last couple of years, Audi has decided that being partners ain't enough for them. They wanna fully jump in head first into Formula One, and they have now bought all of the stake in Sauber, and they're doing a complete takeover, and it will be called Audi F1 going into the 26th season next year.
I like it.
They've already appointed Andreas Seidel, I believe is how you say his last name, was already appointed as CEO. He's already been in the inner workings of Sauber. He's kind of been behind the scenes this season just because they're really focused on developing next year's cars because it's gonna have new regulations and whatnot. So he hadn't really been on the scene like being seen at the races and all that other stuff. He kind of been out the way. Okay. But he's been appointed as the Audi F1 CEO. Current drivers for Sauber, Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto, are going to remain as drivers for Audi. They both signed contract extensions and will be there for the 2026 season. They knew this move was coming. Right now, that team currently consists of 600 people total. Like when you count drivers, engineers, all that stuff. Like,
is that a large team or is that normal?
It's in the middle. So that's Audi wants to compete with the best of the best. Your Ferraris, your Mercedes, your Red Bulls. And for them to do that, they're going to need about probably 300 to 400 more people. They're going to need to be hovering around 1,000 people to make them compete in that realm. Because if you're not familiar with Formula One, it is a pay-to-win sport. Of course, you have your mid-tier teams that they do what they can with a budget, and they they try to be at the top of that middle class. But if you want to win, you got to have a lot of bread. And when I say a lot of bread, I'm millions. I'm talking stupid amounts of money. So this is Audi's way of getting back into that fight with the likes of, like I said, Ferrari, Mercedes, a lot of their counterparts. When you're looking into the general market, they want to have that same competition in the Formula One space. My take on this is they saying they want to be competitive year one. I think them saying that publicly, I don't have a problem with it. I think you're supposed to say that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know how realistic their goals are internally for next year. Because like I said, there are new regulations coming in the 2026 season. The car is going to get a little bit shorter. They're getting rid of the tunnel to floor. So the floor is going to go back to a flat bottom, similar to like the 2021 regulations. So a lot of people are going to be having changes, and there's going to be a lot of question marks going into next season. So best case scenario, they come in, they fighting for a top 3 spot year one, but also they could come in and realize that, hey, this is a bigger beast than they realized, because I think Audi was last involved in any Formula One, I want to say back in like 2009, 2008, and I want to say just on an engine manufacturing standpoint. But yes, Spade, I'm excited to see how they compete.
I mean, it sounds to a non-F1 fan, it sounds like a smart time to come in. Like, if it's a shakeup for everybody's kind of somewhat got to take it back to the drawing board. You got just as good a chance as any. My question, and maybe I'm being a hater, so if I am, you know what I'm saying, you know where to find me. I keep my business email in there. You can hit me wherever you want. Is it smart for a company that ain't really getting it right on making like street driving cars?
Yeah, average consumer cars.
Like, is it smart on you to take this venture, or do you see, and I'm genuinely asking because I don't know, could this venture potentially make things better for their day-to-day street cars?
Yeah, I think depending on how they handle overhead and depending on if they operate in net loss and all that stuff, it's gonna get more eyes on, just because Formula One, in that space, is gonna bring a lot of eyes. It's gonna bring a lot of eyes that got a lot of money with that. For me, I think it's more so about the optics of them competing with the likes of, like I said, Mercedes and Ferrari, of just kind of asserting themselves back in that class, because they already do it in like Le Mans and endurance racing. Yeah. I think it's just more so in their racing department, which a lot of these brands, they kind of separate their racing department and their average consumer cars. So they might not even care. Like the boys over here on the F1 team, they might not give a damn that the A6 and A8 ain't selling. They're like, hey, that ain't my problem.
They might not. It seems like they would need it to at least perform marginally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if that end goes down,
I think for me the way I look at it, because like I said, this originally started off as a partnership. When they first
Sure.
do it in 2022,
sure.
I think they were looking at it and saying, we're going to do it. We're going to go all the way. We don't want to have to, I don't want to have to hear their opinion, hear this person's opinion, and have to take into account how I build my car. If we're going to be here, we're going to build this car how we want to build it from the ground up. And that way, I think anybody's like that. If you want to fail, you want to fail doing your own thing. You don't want to fail because somebody else gave you opinion that you didn't really rock with, but you had to do because, you got partners and all that. But that's kind of my lens on it. But I am interested to see, if they see any type of benefit on the average consumer side, and maybe they get a little bit better there. But at the worst, I think it helps their revenue.
Maybe. Because as you just alluded to, it's gonna take tons.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of money
to even be competitive here.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just told you they got like 3 or 4 vehicles on the worst selling vehicle list.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that are selling, we also in the same episode just told you that they are amongst the most unreliable.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that it's not unreliable, but they have issues.
Yeah, they have issues. And
Even if they're small issues. They have issues.
Like I said, they are manufacturing their own engine too. So that it's their car. Like they're not outsourcing the engine to anybody else. Like it's their chassis, their engine, all that stuff is being developed in-house. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, the same people who develop AA engines, I don't think they get in the call to say, hey, come develop this engine for this Formula One car. But
true spit.
But it's all under the same umbrella. So you kinda have to, they gotta wait and see. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's all I got for that topic.
Nice, short, quick, to the point. Listen, our thing now is once a week. You can come to our channel and you can get automotive news.
Yep.
If I was you, I would just set a reminder in your phone or your watch or
subscribe. Hit the bell icon. It'll notify you. You ain't gotta do all that.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday evening. We're gonna be here.
Man, come on. So for this is all I got for this episode. Cam, you got anything else for the people?
That's all I got. I would say if you're like Spade and you're not familiar with Formula One, Drive to Survive. I recommend you start there. It's a great watch. It's on Netflix. A lot of drama, even if you ain't into sports. It's almost like a soap opera. Formula One, Drive to Survive. You see the behind the scenes. You see all the nitty gritty. Point. You see, I'm saying, people like drama. You want to see fighters get into it behind the scenes. You want to see CEOs get into it behind the scenes. That's where you go see all the good stuff.
Is it real?
It's real. These people driving weapons, bro, and crashing into each other. This is a real conflict.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I got for today. Again, follow, like, subscribe, hit us on TikTok, Instagram. We posting everywhere. Tell everybody, your aunties, uncles, nieces, nephews.
That's right.
Yeah, man. For the next one, we'll see y'all later. Peace.